Hello all and welcome to today's video where I will be doing some pastel painting, and I welcome you to join me if this is something that you are interested in. I haven't actually shown lots of pastel paintings here on my channel, but today I really felt inspired to make some kind of winter scene and kind of snowy and icy scene before we are actually approaching spring, so there won't be many winter days left for us. I will today be using this Rembrandt pastel paper and also Pan Pastels. And I also have a couple of pastel pencils, but I will have everything listed in the description so you can check out the exact colors and also the supplies that I'm using today. But as always with my kind of paintings, it's very intuitive, so I will just go with the flow and let my inspiration guide me, and we'll see what will happen. I'm not extremely experienced with pastels, especially Pan Pastels. I haven't used them that much and for that long time. So it's very much about experimenting still for me and just finding what works as I go along and just enjoying the process. And I think that's one of the best parts also whenever you are using some art supplies that you are not super familiar with. It kind of gives you a bit more even kind of feeling of freedom to really experiment and see what you can do with these, because I might not know all the rules. So also if you are very experienced with Pan Pastels, please go ahead and share your best tips and all the details, what you love to make with these and what you love to create with these in the comments. I would really love to hear that and get inspired. But the scene I have here today is a very simple one. I think it's going to be by a lake, and there will be some forest here in the distant background, and the sun is setting, so it will be very kind of traditional Northern Europe winter scenery. And one that I really enjoy, I'd say this is what I love about winter, is this kind of beauty of ice and snow and the early sunsets, which in a way are kind of hard because we don't have much sun here. We can't see sun that much during the winter months, but still that little golden moment when the sun is setting and there is loads of snow and ice and everything is icy blue. That's just so pretty, and that's what I wanted to capture in this little painting. As said, you will see me working kind of intuitively from one step to another. I started with the sky, and I won't be touching the sky that much then anymore once it's done. So that was kind of very simple couple of layers, and that's it. And then I paint this distant forest, which is something that I kind of get back to later on now. So use some pastel pencils then to add some kind of few small details there. But basically, this, as said, is very, very simple and I would say even beginner friendly pastel painting. So there isn't too many details or anything crazy going on. So it's very simple and easy to follow along if you're interested to do so. I only use a limited number of colors. And as said, I have everything listed in the description if you're interested to see which colors I use. I think pan pastels are such fascinating medium. Of course, whenever working with pastels, especially with these pan pastels, please be mindful and read the instructions carefully and the kind of details of each color, because some of them might be harmful for your health. So be careful not to inhale the pigment too much, and also be careful to wash your hands. But as said, do your background work and then you know how to use these safely. But I think they're so much fun. They are very fascinating medium because you can do so much with them, and they mix beautifully on a paper. And the pastel paper I have here, as said, this is from the brand Rembrandt, and it's not super expensive. This is kind of, I would say, the affordable option to all those I would say even ridiculously pricey pastel papers out there, and this works just fine. And this is also what I always love to say here on my channel, that please don't let your budget or your supplies limit you. Even though here, especially here on YouTube, we can see amazing art supply collections and all the new fancy things and really expensive papers and supplies, but really you can do so much with only limited number of supplies and even with some budget versions. Not super cheap, but you know, I always say that buy the best quality you can, but don't let your budget limit you. That being said, I'm very well aware that pan pastels are rather expensive and they are rather kind of valuable as such. But I'm happy to say that you can actually go along and do loads with only limited number of colors. So what you can see me doing here, for example, in this painting, is that I actually only use very limited number of colors. Yes, I have this palette where there are kind of good basics, but I don't use all of them. And even with this kind of selection of good basic set of colors, you can color mix and create amazing varieties and amazing colors. So it's really also about, as I always say, getting to know your colors, get to know the color mixes, and that way you don't have to invest in those huge art supply collections, but you can still create beautiful art. But I guess that's enough for today. It's just about the art supplies and the usual messages that I like to share here on my channel. What you can see me do here is that I work on this kind of icy, snowy part of the little painting, and I love to layer the colors and see these beautiful effects that we can create. I think pan pastels are actually perfect for these kinds of icy wintry scenes, because they create this soft and beautiful look. And when you use the main, like the cold colors, the colors which have pretty much no warmth in them, I think that's also the key, that you can get this really beautiful end result. As I always say, that actually I struggle a bit with painting and drawing snow and ice. I think they're not the easiest subject matters, but maybe that's why I enjoyed this one so much, that I think I now found my perfect way of using pan pastels for this kind of landscape. And that being said, of course, I know that we are already in March, but maybe I'm just a little bit dreaming back what the most beautiful winter months were like. You can see me adding some details with these pastel pencils as well. These are just some, I would say, yeah, kind of very basic pastel pencils that I've had for a while already. I don't use pastel pencils that much, but it's nice to have them at hand, especially for something like this when I want to create a kind of general landscape, but then have some small details in the forefront of the painting. So that's what we use these pencils for today. So I'm just adding some kind of winter grass and some tree branches which were visible in this little landscape. I'm currently planning my video schedule for the spring and different videos that I want to make. So please share in the comments if you have some kind of top 5 or top 3 favorite mediums at the moment that you enjoy using, and share with me if you have any special wishes of a video you'd like to see during the upcoming spring months. I have some really fun ones planned already. There will of course be my spring palette for the Inktense pencils. There will be some flowers for the Easter season. But as said, please share in the comments if you have any special wishes or some subject matters or mediums you would love to see here on my channel. And I will do my best to give you the videos that you are hoping to see. This was actually quite a quick painting. I'd say that this kind of snowy landscape with pan pastels you can do in just half an hour or so. It doesn't take too much time. You can work very intuitively, as said, and you can just layer and bring the scenery alive as you go. I think it is so important to have also these more like a quick creative practices that you can implement and integrate to any of your days. Even though it might be a busy one, you might still be able to take that half an hour or even 15 minutes to create something, and then you maybe just take a smaller paper and make a smaller piece, or then a larger paper but be more loose and do some quick sketching, and it can be such kind of source of inspiration and happiness also to your day. So I hope that you will also today take some time for your own art and enjoy the art journey that you are currently on. As I'm adding the final details, as always, I want to thank you so much for supporting my channel and being part of this little community of art lovers and artists. It means so much to me, and I'm really happy to have you here. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and if you enjoyed this one, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to share your current favorite art supplies in the comments, and also share with me if you have any special wishes for the upcoming springtime videos. I'd be very happy to hear. I hope that you will enjoy your own art journey and that you find loads of inspiration during this beautiful month of March. And I will see you very soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.